This is a patch of tropical forest with species sometimes as elusive as ghosts. Wildlife in this area are so enigmatic that only their shadows are visible, while their heart-piercing calls can be heard from miles away. This is Hoollongapar Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary. It's a 2,098-hectare tropical moist deciduous Dipterocarpus forest. Hoollongapar is in fact the first protected area in India with gibbons as the focal species for conservation. Dipterocarpus reticus, or the hollong, is the dominant tree species of the forest and is also the precursor to the name Hoollongapar. Hoollongapar, even though primarily a planted forest, exhibits striking diversity of vegetation. However, this wildlife sanctuary is a tiny patch of forest island situated in the Jorhat district of Assam in India. The nearest township, Morioni, is located only 3 kilometers away from the forest. Hoollongapar is surrounded from all sides by human habitation and cultivation. Tea is the primary cash crop for the regions surrounding the forest. On the western edge, river Bhogdoi, a tributary to the mighty Brahmaputra, is guarding Hoollongapar from the extending arms of Morioni township. The ability of Hoollongapar to harbour several primate species within such a small area is bewildering. The charismatic gibbons are the guardians of this forest. On the forest floors of Hoollongapar dwells a bright and conspicuous red-faced macaque. This is the stump-tailed macaque, also known as the bear macaque. With a characteristic erect pig-like tail, no wonder this species is known as pig-tailed macaque. Capped langurs are the largest primate species found in Hoollongapar, with a remarkably long tail and a hairy crown which resembles a cap. The rhesus macaque, one of the most cited primates, are often found near forest fringes and raiding human habitation. Other species of primates found in this area are the elusive slow loris and the least seen Assamese macaque. With its rich habitat, the Hoollongapar ecosystem allows a variety of globally threatened primates to coexist and survive for generations. In addition to primate diversity, Hoollongapar also has an overwhelming assembly of other wildlife species. The mega herbivore of Hoollongapar are the Asian elephants, along with 41 other species of mammals which are being reported from the sanctuary. The Malayan giant squirrel is the largest species of squirrel found in the sanctuary and also the most common mammal to be seen here. This squirrel is strictly an arboreal species and only seldom comes down to the ground for feeding. The Pallas squirrel is also one of the 5 species of squirrels found in the forest of Hoollongapar. Hoollongapar is also an important bird area with more than 250 species reported so far. The elusive and beautiful red-headed trogon seldom peeps through the bushes and can hardly be seen even though it can be heard all day long. Another vocal species of the forest is the white round shama, with its melody resonating the forest undergrowth. The Indian python is a silent predator of the forest, slithering along the trees and branches. This black-banded trinket snake is one of the several species of reptiles found in Hoollongapar. The small pools of water in Hoollongapar are rich in fish and other aquatic fauna, which have hardly been documented. Dominated by the glamour of the primates, something that often goes unnoticed in Hoollongapar is its insect and other invertebrate diversity. There are altogether 211 species of butterflies reported so far from the sanctuary. Amidst the diversity and the background symphony of insects, and particularly orthopterans, this forest also has a report of nearly 100 species of spiders, such as this giant wood spider. The forest type of Hoollongapar is classified as Assam plain alluvial, semi-evergreen to tropical wet evergreen forest. This forest has a mesmerizing diversity of flora with 489 reported species of flowering plants and 25 species of ferns. Some 157 species of plants found in Hoollongapar are categorized as medicinally important. The biodiversity of Hoollongapar has already started receiving global limelight.
I've traveled through many countries of the world, many forests. In fact, I've spent 30 years working in tropical jungles. Every time that I come to this gibbon wildlife sanctuary, it takes my breath away. The diversity of vegetation, the diversity of wildlife in this reserve are amazing. You go from large megafauna, elephants, leopards, to some of the smallest unique species of insects that we see. This is truly one of the jewels of our country and of our world.
Gibbons are the star attraction of this green island of Hoollongapar. They are the only ape species inhabiting the Indian subcontinent apart from humans. They are agile, brachiating from one end of the forest to the other, often showing the best of acrobatic skills. Yet, the species is so shy and elusive. Hollong gibbons are strictly arboreal and only in exceptional circumstances they descend to the ground. The primary diet of the Hollong gibbons consists of fruits and leaves. Hollong gibbons are usually active for 8 to 10 hours during the day, retiring at dusk. Adult male gibbons are black with distinct white brows. Females are wheatish and infants are grey-white in color. Gibbons are known to maintain their territories through distinct calls and can be aggressive in case of an invasion. The population of western Hollong gibbons in Hoollongapar is well documented with 106 individuals in 26 groups. The group size of gibbons typically ranges from 2 to 4 individuals. Western Hollong gibbons today are threatened with habitat reduction and poaching. It is an endangered species and receives highest level of protection offered by Indian law. Globally, much of their original home range has reduced to fragments of forests such as Hoollongapar. Here, in this tiny forest, gibbons face the problem of a growing population size. However, the greater concern is that there is no connectivity of Hoollongapar with the nearby forest areas, and the gibbons here are languishing as an isolated population. The lack of genetic connectivity of gibbons to other source populations raises concerns on their long-term survival. The howling calls heard over long distances performed by gibbons make them unique. Their calls are haunting and equally emotive, inspiring the traditional folklores of the region. In India, cap langurs occur only in the northeastern region. They are highly social primates living in groups. A healthy population of cap langurs are known to exist in Hoollongapar as well. The population of these langurs are in decline across its range, mainly due to excessive habitat destruction and hunting. They are vulnerable as per IUCN Red List and are protected under Indian laws. Cap langurs are primarily leaf eaters, occupying the middle part of the canopy. They have special stomachs which helps in breakdown of leaf cellulose. Their salivary glands are enlarged, which further assists in breaking down the food. Along with leaves, fruit is also a major component of their diet. Here we are observing a rare and interesting natural history behavior where the langurs of Hoollongapar are seen consuming aquatic vegetation and also invasive plant species. We can also observe their prehensile tail, which is providing them additional anchoring support and safety while they are being careful going into the water. Troops of another primate species can be seen walking through the forest floor. They are often quite hard to observe through the dense undergrowth of Hoollongapar. Stump-tailed macaques occur only in the northeast of India. These macaques are not very agile on the trees. But on the ground, they are quite active and constantly moves while feeding during the daytime. They primarily consume fruits, leaves, and roots. Macaques store the food in cheek pouches and save time in food gathering. This behavior also protects them from predators. Stump-tailed macaques live in relatively large groups, and the male with larger body size dominates within the social groups. In Hoollongapar, a good number of as much as 233 individuals in 3 groups have been reported. The stump-tailed macaque is a globally threatened primate, listed as vulnerable in IUCN Red Data List. In Hoollongapar, stump-tailed macaques often ranges out of the forest and crosses human habitation to reach nearby smaller forest patches. Thus, smaller size of this sanctuary and lack of connectivity with other forest areas poses a threat to the long-term sustenance of this species as well. Northern pigtail macaque utilizes the top-middle canopy and are adapted to eating fruits and insects. They live in groups containing multiple males and females. There are reports of about 75 pigtail macaques in Hoollongapar. Usually known as a shy primate, pigtail macaques keep themselves strictly to dense forests. However, in Hoollongapar, pigtail macaques exhibit considerable tolerance to human proximity and thus can be easily seen along the forest roads. Like the other primates of Hoollongapar, northern pigtail macaque is also globally threatened. With such behavioral adaptations, no wonder the jungles of Hoollongapar with its rich ecosystem allows so many globally threatened primates to coexist and survive for generations. Such coexistence of different primates has become possible in this small patch of forest because of apt partitioning of resources in terms of space, time, and feeding habits. Hoollongapar is a lowland forest with numerous nalas or small streams entering the forest from all across the area. What is concerning are the nalas coming from tea gardens and entering the forest with effluents containing pesticides. It is a serious threat to the ecology of the sanctuary as the forest is surrounded by many such small and large tea gardens. The tea garden community, despite being an integral part of the productive tea industry of Assam, are some of the economically backward classes of people living at the fringe of Hoollongapar. In addition to tea communities, the villagers surrounding the sanctuary are mostly farmers. Paddy used to be the primary crop cultivated in the nearby villages. However, the mega herbivore Asian elephants of Hoollongapar forests are not confined within the forest when it comes to feeding. Crop depredation by elephants in the area has forced the villagers to shift their cultivation from paddy to tea in recent years. The surrounding areas of Hoollongapar are now a mosaic of human habitation and tea cultivation. Elephants are known for their long-distance movements. However, elephant corridors that exist around Hoollongapar are also human-dominated. This results in frequent human-elephant conflict in the area. Another long-standing concern for Hoollongapar is the railway line traversing through the sanctuary. This line poses a threat to elephants as well as other wildlife. The threat from this railway line is both in terms of loss of life and creating a barrier of movement for strictly arboreal species, including the western Hollog gibbon. There are measures such as this iron bridge being constructed to connect two fragments of the forest so that the gibbons can move. Some of the locals nearby have strong opinion on conservation of the sanctuary.
মই শ্ৰী জীৱন বৰা মই গিবন অভয়াৰণ্যৰ একেবাৰে কাষতে অৱস্থিত মেলেংগ্ৰান্ট গোবিনপুৰ গাঁৱৰ এজন দৰিদ্ৰ কৃষক আমাৰ এই গিবনখন সংৰক্ষণ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে বিশেষ পদক্ষেপ ল'বলগীয়া নাই যদিও কেইটামান বিষয়ৰ ওপৰত গুৰুত্ব দিলে হয়তো আমাৰ গিবনখন সেউজীয়া হৈ যাব আমাৰ গিবনখনত এতিয়া মই ভাবো গছপুলি লগোৱাৰ কোনো প্ৰয়োজন নাই কাৰণ নেচাৰেলি যিখিনি গছ গজিছে সেই গছখিনি যদি আমি চৰকাৰ তথা আমাৰ জনসাধাৰণে ৰক্ষণাবেক্ষণ দিব পাৰে তেতিয়া হয়তো গিবনখন পুনৰ সেউজীয়া হৈ উঠিব ইয়াত কেইটামান দিশ আছে তাৰ ভিতৰত আমাৰ যিটো আন্তৰগাঁথনিটো বহুত দুৰ্বল তাৰ ওপৰত প্ৰত্যেকে নজৰ ৰাখিব লাগিব
গিবন অভয়াৰণ্যৰ বহুতো সমস্যা আছে তাৰ ভিতৰত প্ৰথম সমস্যা হিচাপে মোৰ এইটোৱে মই ভোগ কৰি আহিছোঁ ইয়াত ষ্টাফ কম হোৱাৰ বাবে বহুত ক্ষেত্ৰত গোটেই গিবন অভয়াৰণ্যখন ডিউটি কৰাৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত কিছুমান সমস্যাৰ সৃষ্টি হয় আৰু ইয়াত কেইটামান কেম্প সম্পূৰ্ণৰূপে খালিয়ে আছে যিকেইটাত ষ্টাফ কম হোৱাৰ বাবে মানুহ দিব পৰা হোৱা নাই
This is the person better known as the walking encyclopedia of Hoollongapar. He is Deben Bora, a staff of forest department who is attached to this forest and its species from his heart.
বন বিভাগত মই কাম কৰা 1881 চনতে মই সোমাইছিলোঁ আৰু তেতিয়াৰ পৰাই মই বন বিভাগত জড়িত হিচাপে কাম কৰি আহিছোঁ আৰু তেতিয়া মই বাঢ়ি যিবিলাক আমাৰ গিবনৰ বা অভয়াৰণ্যখন এতিয়া অভয়াৰণ্য হিচাপে ঘোষণা হৈছে তাৰ আগতে মই নিউ সোণোৱাল দিছৈ ভেলী সেইবিলাকত বিভিন্ন জেগাত মই কাম কৰিছিলোঁ আৰু 85ৰ পৰা 85 চনৰ পৰা মই ইয়াতে কাম কৰিবলৈ আৰম্ভ কৰোঁ আৰু তেতিয়া আছিলে হোলোঙাপাৰ ৰিজাৰ্ভ ফৰেষ্ট হোলোঙাপাৰ সংৰক্ষিত বনাঞ্চল আৰু হোলোঙাপাৰ সংৰক্ষিত বনাঞ্চলখন 1997 চনৰ 30 জুলাই তাৰিখে গিবন বন্যপ্ৰাণী অভয়াৰণ্য হিচাপে ঘোষণা কৰা হৈছিলে ইয়াতে মোৰ এটা সৰুৰ পৰা খুব আগ্ৰহ আছিলে বন্যপ্ৰাণী মই খুব ভাল পাওঁ আৰু যিখিনি ইয়াতে গছ-গছনি প্ৰায়খিনি মই নিৰীক্ষণ কৰোঁ সৰুৰ পৰা আৰু তেনেকৈ ধৰণে মই ভাবি আছিলোঁ যে মই অভয়াৰণ্যখনৰ ভিতৰবিলাকত মই কাম কৰিবলৈ পোৱা হ'লে মোৰ খুব ভাল লাগিলহেঁতেন আৰু সেই তেনেকৈ মনতো ভাবি থাকোঁ কেতিয়াবা আৰু সেই তেতিয়া মই চেতিদাক লগ পালোঁ যেতিয়া 98-99 সেই দুটা বছৰ কণ্টিনিউ আমি বাৰিষা খৰালি ৰ'দ বৰষুণ সম্পূৰ্ণ জংঘলৰ ভিতৰতে কাম কৰিবলৈ সুবিধা পালোঁ মই আৰু বিভিন্ন প্ৰান্তৰ পৰা যিসকল ৰিচাৰ্চ স্কলাৰ তেখেতসকলৰ লগত মোৰ লগতে প্ৰায় সকলে কাম কৰিছে প্ৰায়খিনি তেওঁলোকক মই সহায়ক হিচাপে কাম কৰোঁ
The Gibbon Conservation Center, situated in Hoollongapar, is a joint venture between Assam Forest Department and Aranyok, a scientific research organization. This center regularly conducts trainings for forest staff on the tools of gibbon conservation as well as trains budding researchers in conservation science.
I've been coming to the Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary now for 7 years, since 2010, working with my good friend and colleague Dr. Dilip Chitri, director of the Gibbon Conservation Center. We're working together on a training program in conservation biology and global health with the intention of trying to help promote motivation and interest in conservation in the next generation of researchers.
Some of the tourist guides associated with the sanctuary also have their own sources of inspiration from the forest.
মোৰ নাম শ্ৰী প্ৰদীপ বৰুৱা মোৰ ঘৰ মেলেং লক্ষীপুৰ গাঁৱত আৰু মোৰ গাতে লাগি থকা গিবন এখন অভয়াৰণ্য আছে। মই গিবন অভয়াৰণ্যখনৰ লগতেই সৰুৰ পৰা জড়িত। আজি 15-16 বছৰ মোৰ হৈ গ'ল। প্ৰথমতে মই গিবন কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যন চেণ্টাৰত মই কাম কৰিছিলোঁ অৰণ্যকত। তেতিয়াৰ পৰাই মই আকৌ গাইডত সোমালোঁ। এতিয়ালৈকে মই গিবন কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যন চেণ্টাৰ গিবনতে মই গাইড কৰি আছোঁ। তেনেকৈয়ে জীৱনটো কটাইছোঁ।
এই গিবনখন সংৰক্ষণৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ স্থানীয় ৰাইজৰ লগত চৰকাৰে সহযোগ ৰাখিব লাগিব। আৰু আমাৰ ইয়াত বিশেষভাৱে উপদ্ৰৱ কৰে হাতী, বাঘ, গাহৰি, বান্দৰটো বৰ্তমান এটা সন্ত্ৰাসবাদী ৰূপে আমাৰ মাজত পৰিগণিত হৈছে। তাৰ পৰা কোনো উপায় বিচাৰি আমাৰ জনসাধাৰণক যদি এই জন্তুখিনিৰ ওপৰত মৰমিয়াল কৰিব পাৰি, তেতিয়াহ'লে হয়তো গিবনৰ ভৱিষ্যত বহুত উন্নত হ'ব বুলি মই ভাবোঁ।
মই এটা কথাই ভাবোঁ যে আমাৰ মানে অভয়াৰণ্যখনৰ কিনাৰত যিখিনি গাঁও আছে, গাঁৱৰ যে সকলো যুৱকক যদি এটা সুপথ দেখুৱাই দিয়ে, যেনেকৈ গাইড কৰিবলৈ দিয়ে বা আপোনাৰ যদি কোনোবা যদি ধৰ পোষ্ট ওলাইছে তাত পোষ্টতো যদি কিবা নিযুক্তি দিয়ে, তেতিয়া গাঁওখনত আৰু মানে হাবিখন আৰু উন্নতি হ'ব আৰু তেতিয়া হাবিখন মানে ছেফটি হৈ থাকিব। আৰু ওচৰৰ মানুহে যদি হাবিখনক সহায় নকৰে, হাবিখন যদি নবচায়, আনে বচাব আহিব নোৱাৰে। সদায় নিজে চিন্তা কৰি চাব লাগিব যে হাবিখন নিজৰ আৰু গিবনখন নিজৰ আৰু জীৱ জন্তুকেইটাও নিজৰ ভাবিব লাগিব।
It is said that the survival of species depends on human interventions, and actions must be taken to secure their dwindling populations. The future looks gloomy for these species. Will they survive or will they disappear? It is now in our hands to keep the green island of Hoollongapar intact and ensure the continuing existence of these species.